Right, going back to podcasts. People ask me, I'll start again. I once went to court and the judge says to me, you've been found guilty by a jury of your peers. So I didn't really understand what it meant because I was only a teenager at the time. And I now know what peers means. You know, it's like people of your equal or people you knock about with. Now, a jury, you know, people who've not been in trouble before, they can't be my peers. Now, people say, what are your peers? Now, for me, peers, people in boxing, they're the people I admire. I'm also critical of people in boxing because there's a lot of skullduggery that goes on. You know, a lot of people that I have a lot of time for in boxing are people who do the podcasts. You know, like the New Age Podfather with, you know, Terry, Martin and Andy. I like the one Steve Goodwin does with Martin. I like the Boxing Asylum, which I am proud to say I've been a contributor on with Steve Wellings, Andy Patterson, Smidu, Tommy the Guru Allen. I think Brian King's been on there a few times. He used to have his own Brian. I forgot what his one was called now, but it was a good one. All them guys, Dave the Hater Lowback, Dominic, is it Henry? Dominic, I think. If there's anybody I've missed, I apologise, but I like them sort of people who do the podcasts. You know, they give the time up for a couple of hours once a week and speak boxing. And what I find that you get from these podcasts, honesty. You're not going to get Eddie Hearn or Johnny Nelson, Adam Smith, you know, John Rawlins, people like that coming on and giving you total and utter crap. You're not going to get that. You're going to get people speaking from what they see, and I think that's really good. You know, like when Billy Joe Saunders does commentating and Tyson Fury, they say what they see, don't they? Sky commentators, they're on good wage, you know, they're on good money, so they don't want to rock the boat. They daren't say anything. Money becomes God to them. Whereas you working at Box Nation, you're going to get 500 quid for night, aren't you? And you can say what you want, can't you? Because 500 quid's neither here nor there, is it? It's just, I'm not saying that in a derogatory way, because there's people that work for minimum wage, but ex-world champion boxers that are going to get a few quid for doing like 2 appearances a year, they're not bothered if they don't do it again, are they? When you're getting a contract at Sky, for instance, Johnny Nelson, he's on Fortunes, he's not going to want to rock the boat. Spencer Fearon, I don't know what he's on, but he's probably one of the biggest company men out there, and the brown noser. Now, I don't want to go on too far about that lot at Sky, but they know my opinion of them. For example, Paul Smith loses first 7 rounds against that Zug for world title, and commentators saying, oh, he's going to come on strong at next 5. He's saving himself. He never fighted him on night, did he really? But that's Sky fear. Jamie McDonnell got hammered in Monte Carlo, didn't he? And at the end, Adam Smith said, well, it looks like Jamie McDonnell's lost his world title here in Monaco. Then the scores came in. Adam Smith saying, hey, look, he's lost his title by 4 or 5 rounds. Jamie won on scorecards by 5 rounds, and Adam Smith said, this is why we love this sport so much. That's what I mean by biased commentary. They dig themselves in a hole, then they dig themselves out of a hole. For example, Tony Bellew overnight in the Ben fight, he gave it as a draw, didn't he? He then backtracked, and Brian King pulled him up about it, saying, well, I think I give Ben 3rd round, so that makes it a Ben win or a draw. And really, I think, did he give it to the other guy by a point or a draw? Either way, classic backtracking, because they're getting paid by Sky. Sky is their meal ticket. When Bellew were at Box Nation, and Frank Warren were best thing since sliced bread. Then he goes to Eddie Hearn, and he's best thing since sliced bread. Now, it's very easy to love that kind of person when they're giving you hundreds of thousands of pounds. But whatever happened to people being themselves and not selling their souls? Money every time. So I think that's the podcast covered. I respect all people that give up the time to do the podcast and say what they feel and give their opinion. I've got no time in boxing for company men. A couple of people have pulled me who are company men and they know they are, and I just tell them, just be yourself. So they know where I am if they want to pull me. I'll be at Ponsford on 2nd of February if anybody's got a problem with anything that I've said. UK trainers who don't get a fair shake, somebody's asked me about. UK trainers who I think are good trainers in the UK, who are probably a couple of years younger than me, you know, early 40s. I think Ryan Rhodes, I think he's a good trainer. Jamie Moore, very good. Starting to get a bit of recognition, he's got Frampton. Steffi Bull, he's a good trainer, he's got a fantastic high-tech gym down there in Dennerby. Really good gym, building up a good stable, so I think that's that covered. Current talking points in boxing at the moment: Joseph Parker says he'll stop AJ. Well, you couldn't stop Andy Ruiz, could you? I don't think he stopped Takam, did he? And he didn't stop Hughie Fury. So his last 3 fights, he's not stopped anybody. Now all of a sudden he's saying he'll stop AJ. No, you won't. You will lose against AJ. You will lose on points or be knocked out late on, but that's what will happen against AJ. They know that, that's why they're going to fight you. They don't want to fight Wilder, so they're not going to put AJ, the cash cow, in any danger, are they? Dana White on Floyd Mayweather joining UFC. Who cares about Floyd Mayweather no more? His last knockout were Luis Ortiz. Before that, who were it? Ricky Hatton. Floyd Mayweather doesn't excite me. He bores me. We all want to see him get beat. That's why we buy the pay-per-views. I'm not interested in him one bit. Very boring. He's had his day. 41-year-old next month, is he? I'm not interested. I'm not interested in UFC actually. It's gay porn, in my opinion. A lot of men rolling about all over the floor in tight underpants, speedos, whatever. Not for me. Boxing's a real man's sport, not gay porn UFC. So Kovalev against Mikhalkin. Kovalev's next fight. Well, I think that's a joke of a fight. I think Kovalev needs to start manning up. He needs to fight Beterbiev. He beat him twice in amateurs, so Kovalev saying he's a warrior. You'd think he'd want to reverse that them 2 losses against Beterbiev, wouldn't you? So Canelo don't want Billy Joe because he calls him a runner. Billy Joe Saunders. Well, Billy Joe Saunders, it depends what you're looking for, doesn't it? I don't like Andre Ward's style, mainly because he beat Carl Froch, but I respect his style. But Carl Froch is my favourite fighter and I wanted him to beat Ward. He just said he didn't start fighting until 8th round, Carl, did he? Tried to outbox Ward, got the game plan wrong. By that stage, Ward had got the rounds in the bank, so that was unlucky. But Billy Joe beats Canelo. They're not going to want Billy Joe Canelo. It's as simple as that. So he's saying he's going to be like Lara running. Well, I thought Lara beat him. So that's a shame because I want Billy Joe to fight that lot. Now, let me just check where we are on camera. Oh, that's okay. So that brings me to the Billy Joe Saunders Ingle Lemieux. Brilliant by Dominic Ingle. He's done Billy Joe fantastic, getting him in great shape, performance of his life. Billy Joe's now in the fabulous 4 of the day. Canelo, Golovkin, Jacobs and Billy Joe. Them 4 must fight each other. For the sake of boxing, K2 Promotions, Golden Boy, Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, get your shit together and get those lads all fighting. Joshua Parker, Wilder. Eddie Hearn's not going to put Joshua near anybody who's going to knock him out. They're not going to go near Deontay Wilder. don't want to go for Parker. Pick up another belt at Tyson Fury's. They didn't win it ring, so. Tyson on Billy Joe Saunders says he's pound for pound top 10 in the world. Yes, he is. But then again, you've got Billy Joe probably pound for pound number 3 as a middleweight. Number 10, you can maybe stretch Billy Joe top 10, top 15. So yes, I'd say top 15. He needs probably another win to get in that top 10, and then another win to probably win that top 3. So yeah, it's looking good for Billy Joe. What is he, 27-year-old, is he? 27, how old is Billy Joe? What were he in the Olympics, 18? 9, he's probably 27-year-old Billy Joe, yeah. He's 27, 28-year-old, he's got plenty of time in his hand. He's got another 20 fights if he wants them. James Toney says Canelo's a sissy for running from Triple G. Yeah, he is. So you can't call Lara one or Billy Joe a sissy. But then again, James Toney stayed out at Wayne Lebedev when they fought, didn't he? So, and James Toney, you know, yeah, come see me, yeah, he sounds to me like he's punch drunk, James Toney. So that's just my opinion on James Toney. As regards Badou Jack, putting everybody on notice. I don't think anybody's going to be too bothered about Badou Jack, are they? Not Kovalev, not Beterbia, not Stevenson, the big 3. So BJ Flores versus Dillian White. Fucking hell. I can see that happening. I think it's not looking good for Dillian White at Sky. Could be wrong, but I'm not getting good vibes from Dillian White at Sky. BJ Flores, he's a David A fighter. Hughie Fury is a Mick Hennessy fighter. They wanted to fight Dillian White. He's got a good ranking, WBC #1 ranking. If Flores beats Dillian White, Flores will fight David A. David A will get to Wilder then. They all want that #1 ranking, so Dillian White, he's in a good position to get good money for that, to fight anybody. Tyson Fury has told Eddie Hearn he wants mega money, according to Eddie Hearn, to fight Joshua. Yeah, I can see that happening. I can see Tyson's the man, isn't he? You know, Joshua can't have a legacy until he beats Tyson Fury. Lennox Lewis couldn't have a legacy until he beat Mike Tyson, even though he fought Mike Tyson probably 10 years later than he should have fought him. So James Toney says that Canelo's a sissy for running against Golovkin, and Canelo says Billy Joe's a sissy for running against Lemieux. So it's just general boxing, isn't it? Tit for tat, innit? Tyson says Billy Joe's top 10 for pound. I'd say he's top 15 pound for pound in the world. Maybe top 10, top 11 maybe. But he's in that top 15 of the world's top fighters. Nicola Adams, she says she wants a world title next year. Who cares? I don't care about that. I'm not into women's boxing. Joshua Parker Wilder. Eddie Hearn's not going to put Joshua near Wilder. We all know that. I told you that 18 months ago. They'll fight Parker because he doesn't stop anybody, does he? Ruiz, Takam and Hughie Fury, they're his top 3 wins, Parker. And he could go either way with any of them wins. You could maybe say he beat Takam, but Hughie Fury and Ruiz, I don't think Parker beat them. Billy Joe was part of the Fabulous Four, in my opinion, now, or Fantastic Four. Jacobs, Billy Joe, Golovkin and Canelo. They're the top 4 at middleweight now. Eddie Hearn, Golden Boy, K2 Promotions, Tom Loeffler and Frank Warren. You need to sort your stuff out and get them guys fighting. Dana White against Floyd, Floyd doing UFC, who cares, it's gay porn, UFC, I don't like UFC. Kovalev against Mikhalkin, who cares, it's a bum fight. Kovalev should be fighting Beterbia, who beat him twice in amateurs. He should be wanting to put the record straight. trainers in UK who don't get a lot of recognition: Jamie Moore, Steffi Bull, Ryan Rhodes. That's my pick. Podcasts, boxing podcasts. In my opinion, they're your peers. They're my peers. I respect all the lads who do the podcasts. You know, and they become legends on the internet, aren't they? Brian King, Andy Patterson, Tommy the Guru Allen, Steve Wellens, Smido, Dominic Henry, Dave the Hater Lowback. Hello, my name is Cam. Leon, Nyota, them lads on Boxing Coalition, I like that one. The New Age podcast, Seven Wolves, I like that. I like Brian King's one, I like Steve Elling's one, Nuthouse Pod. I like all podcasts because people who do podcasts, in my opinion, are my peers, and they give an honest opinion. I like the one Steve Woodgoodwin does with Martin as well. They give an honest opinion. We haven't got like, I'm not sure if I've gone over this earlier, but they're not like the Sky Company men, Spencer Fearon, Johnny Nelson, Adam Smith, them sort of guys. And Bellew, he's become like one of them as well, like a clone, a cyborg. That's what it does to you. These people at Sky, and I can speak from people I know who've spoke to me, who've worked for Sky for 20 odd years, so I do know what sort of money these people at Sky are on. They're on mega money, mega money. They're not going to want to ruin that, are they, for a throwaway comment. They're going to go behind that mic and they're going to say, they're going to big them matchroom fighters up. You get a few that go against the grain, but generally they're not going to go against the codus, are they? They're not going to go against the status quo, because they're getting paid thousands and thousands of pounds. They're getting flown around the world. They're getting fed and watered and put in a nice warm bed at night for free. You're not going to give that up, are you? It's like judges in boxing. They get put in a hotel, fed and watered, driven about for free and paid $8,000 in the process. They are not going to rock that boat. Same as that referee in the Conor Benn fight. What was he taking to come out with a 57-54 card? He gave the guy 1 round, the first round. What? How can he get to that? Bob Williams, is he on drugs? I don't know, but I just thought his scoring was out. I doubt he was on drugs, so I'll take that comment back. He was on more than drugs. He was on spice or God knows what. But he was on something to come out with that. That's my opinion. And I can say my opinion while I've still not got my seconds licence from British Boxing Board of Control. Because when I get a licence I might have to curb it. So till then I'm just going to be me. I don't want anybody saying to me, don't say this, don't say that. We might have to work with them people down the line. Who cares? I'm not going to be a yes man. Is Peter Fury a yes man? No. People need to come up to me and say, oh Russ, I didn't like what you said. Instead of just coming up to me and saying, how are you doing, Russ, alright? Because that's what they say when they see me to my face. Then afterwards they might say, I didn't like what he said on his timeline. Who gives a shit? It's boxing. Supposed to be tough guys, aren't you? Have an opinion. People went to World War. At D-Day, Normandy landings, age 18. They were going to slaughter. Now you've got people 18 that the feelings are hurt. It's like the woman in the Hugh Grant film who's a fruitarian and an apple fell out the tree. They're the only ones that they want to eat. They don't want to pluck them off at branch because apples have feelings. Just like boxers. Oh my God. Get a grip. But that's boxing for you, isn't it? Well, I want to talk about pound for pound stars. Current pound for pound stars at the moment. Now, I think you've got to put Lomachenko at number 1. You've got to put Golovkin at number 2. You've got to put Canelo at number 3. Ersk at number 4. And then I think all the rest of them are untried, aren't they? Crawford maybe 4, 5. they're your top 5 and it could go in any order, so I don't want anybody saying that so-and-so should beat so-and-so, because who have they all beat really? Who's Golovkin beat? Golovkin's not beat no one, has he really? Who's he beat? Kell Brook, a welterweight. Kell had smashed him to bits at welterweight, wasn't he? So who's he beat? You know, Andre Ward's only beat 6 world champions, hasn't he? So, you know, I don't know. Ward's out at picture now with Mayweather. Mayweather went #1, but it's all a bit up in air now, pound for pound. It's up there for somebody to grab. But I think you're probably going to have to go with Lomachenko after beating Rigondeaux, because he was regarded as one of the main men, wasn't he? But he didn't beat him at the right weight, did he? Plus Lomachenko's got a loss, hasn't he? So there's all sorts of different permutations with pound for pound, but there's no heavyweight boxers in that pound for pound list, none. Joshua's nowhere near it. He's not top 20. I'm sorry, but they may be marketing him because he's got, you know, a body like an Adonis. That's why they're marketing him like that. But which brings me to Joshua. Is he on anything? Well, he passes all drug tests, so you can't tarnish a man's image, can you? But he's put 2.5 stone on since Olympics, and his body fat's gone down. So he's either a freak of nature, or he's ate all his spinach like Popeye. So it's up to you what you want to read into with that. But I know my opinion on it, and we'll see, won't we? But drug testing in boxing is a shambles. If you've got a powerful promoter, you can do anything you want. Look at Povetkin. How many times has he failed? 2, and he's had 1 that were a bit dodgy. So he's 2, 3 question mark over 3 drug tests. So we'll see, won't we? How things go with testing in boxing. But it's a shambles. It's a total and utter shambles boxing at the moment for drug testing. Here's a subject that I like to talk about. Who's the greatest super middleweight of all time? Which super middleweight in the world since 1984 has beaten the most world champions at 168 pounds? Who? The Cobra. The Cobra's beat more world champions than anybody at 168 pounds. So what does that mean? It means he's better than Joe Calzaghe, doesn't it? Joe had 22 title fights, Froch had 12 title fights. And who's beat the most world champions? Calzaghe beat 8, Froch beat 11 if you count Durrell. If you don't count Durrell, he's beat 10. 10-8, isn't it? Beat 2 more than Joe, and he's had 10 less fights, super middleweight title fights. But you know, it's everybody's preference, isn't it? You know, Calzaghe were finishing his career when Froch were, you know, starting his world championship career. The baths didn't really cross, did they? But it's a shame, isn't it? But that's just my opinion on it. I'm a big Froch fan, big Tyson Fury fan. Who's the best current trainer in Britain at the moment? Well, you'd have to put Peter Fury up there, but he's inactive, isn't he? So you can't say him. Shane McGuigan you'd put up there, wouldn't you? Because he got Groves, Josh Taylor. You could say, yeah, David A lost, Frampton lost, but David A's ankle went, and Frampton lost a mandatory decision, didn't it, on a guy he'd already beat. So you'd have to say Shane McGuigan's the man at the moment. Behind Shane McGuigan, you'd have to say Dominic Ingle, wouldn't you? Then McCracken, but McCracken only really has what to do with Joshua, doesn't he? He just likes the big checks, doesn't he, McCracken? He just likes the big fighters. So you'd have to say McCracken is up there, but Joshua's looked shocking, hasn't he, recently? Shocking. Matchmaking's going to get Joshua through. He's a cash cow, they're not going to risk him. So you can't count McCracken. Shane McGuigan's the man. Could say Sanagar's good. Dominic Ingle's up there now, isn't he? Jim McDonald's slipped down, hasn't he, now? He's probably going to be on dole in a couple of weeks. Shane McGuigan, you'd probably say Shane McGuigan. And the upcomers, Steffi Bull, Jamie Moore, Ryan Rhodes, they're the next generation, aren't they? Good trainers. In next 5 to 10 years they'll be up there. And that's how boxing goes, it goes in cycles, doesn't it? That's what I think. You have to put Chris Smedley up there as well, wouldn't you? He's not that old, and he's in his 40s. He's got a Commonwealth champion. He's done circuit through amateurs. You've got Liam Cameron. You have to put Chris up there. Who's #1 promoter? Frank and Eddie, I think, have joined at it now. Frank's made up a lot of ground. Yeah, you'd have to say Frank and Eddie at #1. After that, you know, Mick Hennessy's, he's regrouping. Dennis Hobson, who I work with, he's got a TV deal, he's regrouping. We've got some guys wanted to sign with us next year. Some surprise signings as well. One I'm bursting to try and say something about, but I can't because I'll probably get a slap. Boxing goes in cycles. That's basically it, really. It goes in cycles. Everybody has the day in the sun. It's how you make most of it. There's a lot of good trainers out there. Ricky Hatton, he's a good trainer. But I think Tyson Fury will go with Dominic Ingle. I think he's seen what he's done for Billy Joe Saunders. I think he'll let that young kid Ben Davison get him fit, and I think he'll go with Dominic Ingle then. Or if he goes with Ben Davison and it don't work out, then what? What's he gonna do? Go around go around the house, go around the old houses in boxing. Ricky Hatton, Dominic, go around and then go full circle till he gets to 35-year-old. Go back to Peter Fury. Maybe that'll happen. I don't know, but. I think if somebody takes you to the Neil Championship at World, you should stay with them and the promoter, but it's not up to me, is it that? That's just my opinion. That's just my humble opinion. Whether people like me or not, I don't really give a shit. You know what I mean? I've done 10 years in prison. So people's opinion on me in boxing means no when I've got 2 kiddies and I've done all that jail. Every day out here to me is a Saturday night. I don't want for no. I'm fortunate, very, very fortunate to wake up and inhale fresh air. I'm now sitting in front of this camera trying to be Cougan Cassius. But I think that's about it really. We've covered most topics, haven't we? Did we cover IFL? I think they've been great for boxing. Cougan and James. I think Cougan's very polished. I think James is not as polished, but I think they complement each other. Who's Joshua going to fight next? I'd say Pulev, because they can get him on cheap. And they're probably going to know Cali Sauerland won. So I'd say Pulev. I wouldn't say Parker. I'd say Pulev. And Dillian White, I'd say he'd be hanging on for it. Dillian White or Pulev. Because they're an easy win, aren't they? They could go Pulev, then Dillian White, and that's 2018 done. And we aren't taking any risks, and millions and millions and millions of pound it bank. And all you stupid casuals falling for it all. Do you know what I mean? So look at these questions. Russell, why have you opened a new account on Twitter from Mark in Leeds? Because I was persuaded by a couple of people in boxing to take a break from Twitter because I was coming out with getting involved in stupid arguments by people who I don't know what the life situations are, but they're having a pop at me at my position at Dennis's, and so I don't block them, I just get involved in argument. So they said take a break, so I did. Oh, and I got kicked off, didn't I? I got kicked off though, but so I just decided not to rejoin because I had a go at Stubble and it was my 5th warning. You get 5 warnings on Twitter, don't you? Constant harassment of Stubble and Eddie Earn. How did you get working with Dennis Hobson? From John in Manchester. I did a prison sentence with a guy in Rotherham who used to look after Dennis Hobson's dad's greyhounds in early 70s, 1970s, and he was on like £100 a week in a Ford Cortina estate then. He had a big place up at Ellaby, a big house with all kennels. My pal used to look after him, and I was in jail with his brother, and they knew what I was in for, so he recommended me to him. He told me to go to the show one night and mention it, so check me out, give me a clean bill of health, and I got him with Dennis that way, I suppose. I was lucky, and we've become best pals, haven't we? Isn't it amazing? All them years I tried to get in boxing, trying to do it with a CV and that, and then you get a job in boxing because you've done a bit of porridge. Or a lot of porridge. 3. How do you think boxing is regarding the general public at the moment? Trisha in Morecambe. How do I think boxing? Well, it's on everybody's lips, isn't it, boxing at the moment? Everybody's happy with it. It's number 1 as far as I'm concerned, boxing at the moment. How did you come to be working with Dennis, Paul in Bowlby? I've explained that. What do you think to IFL, Joe in Leeds? Think it's good, I've already explained that. Good for boxing. Who's best promoter in world boxing at the minute? Mike in Essex. Ha ha ha. You'd have to say Eddie Hearn, wouldn't you? On current form. But I think he's slacking a bit this year. After the Klitschko fight, I think it's gone downhill. These next gen shows are pure AIDS. Who's your best pal? Dennis Hobson and Carl Gibson, who owns a garage in Edlington. He's my school pal, so growing up with him, man. He's a childhood friend. Who's your... what do you think of StubHub? I've explained that. I think it's a load of shite, and it's conning public, and people like Eddie Hearn and Callum Sowland are hiding behind StubHub and going like that, making out it's the general public that are putting the tickets on StubHub when really it's them that are giving them it, because the tickets don't sell out that quick. They're taking them in big blocks and they're putting them on 500 at a time. Everybody in boxing knows what's going on, but they're all just putting their head in sands and hoping that they're wishing it's them that's going to be doing it. Frank Warren would love to be doing StubHub with his track record. Come on, I won't. If Dennis has anything to do with StubHub, I am out of there, and I will say what I think. So that's my opinion on it. I don't agree with it. Who's best super middleweight of all time? Len in Aldershot. Ha ha ha! We've already said that, haven't we? Carl Froch, in my opinion. Well, he's beat the most world champion, he's beat the most undefeated guys at 168. So you'd have to say Carl Froch, wouldn't you? Carl Zaggy didn't challenge himself. Why did you sign Robin Reid? Flirt in Rotherham. Because Nigel Benn were talking about fighting Steve Collins, so I said, well, why don't we bring Robin Reid back to fight Carl Zaggy? So I went and signed Robin Reid in the Fury gym, and then we had people in touch with Carl Zaggy's people, and Carl Zaggy's lawyer said his dad didn't want the fight, so we tried. But it wouldn't have been very good, would it? I think. I don't know. 40-odd-year-old Robin's in good shape though, and he's a good pal of mine, Robin. So good luck to him. Is David Price good? Brian in Bognor. Yeah, he's a good fighter, David Price. I just think he's had bad luck against drug cheats, and I think he just needs to get his confidence back. So yeah, he's a good fighter. He dropped Joshua. It's just a case of timing for David Price, I think, innit? Will Tyson Fury fight in 2018? I don't think he'll fight. No. I hope he does, but I don't think he will. That's from Marcus in Glasgow. How many work at Dennis Hobson Promotions? Neil in Doncaster. Me, Dennis, Michelle and James Russell, matchmaker. 4 people. Why are you not on Baylor TV no more? I think I've explained that in an earlier video. It's all about keeping costs down. We paid Ingram Jones to come over from Baylor TV, and then you've got to put him in an hotel. It comes with his missus, blah de blah. There's other extras and all that. And it's expensive and that. And plus, we wanted him to come and live here. Dennis had an house for him, and he didn't want to come and move here. I think it's because his missus can't get a visa here. I'm not sure. It's not for me to comment, but it weren't practical to keep flying him over from Ireland every time we've got anything to do, when we might as well just keep it in-house, get our own camera, and I might as well do it. And plus we have a press officer anyway, and Ingram working with us was basically just my idea, my little thing. So, and it's come to an end now, but I wish Ingram all the best. He's a good lad, Ingram, very good at his job. Do you rate Joe Gallagher as a trainer? Peter in Liverpool. Yeah, he's obviously a good trainer, he knows his stuff, he's got a lot of people there, he's won world titles with Crawler and Liam Smith, but you know, it is what it is, isn't it? You know, when they're going, when they come up against anybody any good, they get beat, don't they? The Smiths have gone 0-11 against former and current world champions, the three Smith brothers. The fourth one, Callum, he's going to be fighting a former champion in a couple of months, Bramer, so they might go 1-11 or 0-12 after that fight, or 0-11 and a draw, who knows. But I think there's a gap between they win a British title, then they seem to wait. I think they're entitled. I think they have a sense of entitlement against the big payday. So who knows? But obviously Joe Gallagher must be a good trainer because he's won ring trainer of the year. So I don't know what fights he got that on though, on the strength of what fight, what were it Crawler? Were it the story surrounding Crawler? Because who's Crawler beat? Darley Perez? I don't know, but if you look closer at the Joe Gallagher's record, it's got more holes in it than Swiss cheese. Has Dennis ever thought of putting Liam Cameron in for a Euro title? Lenny in London? Yeah, Blanderama's got it, but he's tied up till next August. So why don't you mention about StubHub no more on Twitter? Simon in London. What? You must have not been reading my tweets until I got banned, Simon. Question 18. Who's your favourite all-time top 3 fighters? Froch, Ali, Khan Basilio. Will Amir Khan win a world title again? Andy in Wrexham. Amir Khan's last world title win was Zeb Judah, who was shot to pieces, 2011 July. So we're getting on for 7 years, aren't we, in summer? 7 year hard at game, innit, Amir Khan? So no, I don't think he'll win another world title. Who's best pound for pound fighter today? Mick in Wales. Lomachenko, 21. What do you think of MTK signing Tyson Fury and then being big players in boxing? I think they obviously know what they're on with, don't they? Bit MTK, they signed a lot of fighters and they're not frightened to put where the money where the mouth is. They pay everybody on time. I think they're good for boxing. Good luck to MTK. I don't know him personally. I've met Macklin. Met him at Froch against Yusuf Mack. I met him then, and I think it's good what they're doing in boxing. I think it's really, really, really good. Let's have a look what other questions there were. Is Steffi Bull a force in boxing? Yeah, Steffi Bull's done really good in boxing. He's got a great gym and he's got a list of champions, you know what I mean? He's doing really, really well. He's had Robbie Barrett, Townend, he's got Gav McDonnell. He's doing really, really well. Good luck to him. He obviously knows his stuff. So, right then, that's about it really. That's about it for today. I think I've probably done about an hour today in 4 or 5 segments, and I'll get these off to our marketing guy in London, Rico, tomorrow. He's in Finland at the moment, but these should be on Twitter and YouTube channel. It's Porky's Corner on YouTube, and the Twitter is @BigVern and then /. Oh, @BigVern46 and then /. Yeah, so keep tuning in. I'm not after subscribers. I'm not bothered if I have 10 subscribers or 1 million. I'm not in it for that. I'm not in it for views. I'm just in it to get a point across that people have asked me to do. Because I ain't really got the time, and I can't really say I could do a podcast every week at the same time. So I just do these little blogs here and just try my best to let you know what's going on. But February the 2nd is our show at Ponsford. It's looking good. Josh Whale, Bobby Jenkinson. Liam Cameron defending his Commonwealth title, all being well, against who we don't know, TBA, probably Elliot Matthews, but I'm hearing he's injured. Lua Nasser against Brad Watson for English title, so bantamweight. So it's all looking good. It's all looking really, really good. And 7 other great fights on, although Dominic Ingles just pulled Dan Cooper off tonight, I've been told, because he's not happy with deal. So Dominic's not his manager, he's his trainer, but he's not happy with deal. So that's up to Dennis to sort with them in it, but no worries. So, but it's a great show, Ponsford. It's going to be on Free Sports, free to air, Sky Channel 424, Freeview Channel 95, and it's looking good. And all the best to all those people out there who follow me on Twitter and who follow boxing mainly, and to the company men and to hardcore. And with no time for casuals either. Alright, you take care.